Hello students, today we will talking about globalization. So first of all we will talk about definition of globalization. So first of all we will talking about what is globalization. Globalization is a flow. This flow could be of various kind. Flow of capital, flow of commodity, flow of people, flow of ideas. When people go to another country for search job, this is flow of people. When we exchange idea to another country, this is flow of ideas. So we can say flows is multi-dimensional. There are two examples of globalization. First one is call center. Janardhan working in a call center. When he goes in the center, he became John. In office, he speak different language to communicate with his client. It is the example of flow of services because he gives services to those people who lived in another country. Second example of Ramdhari. He goes to market to buy a cycle. He bought China made cycle. This cycle was affordable and good quality. This is example flow of goods because its cycle manufacturing in China but sold in India. So we see two examples. First one is Janardhan and second one is Ramdhari. So now we will talking about causes of globalization. What is causes of globalization? Friends, globalization is not new concept. This is old concept. In the ancient time, flow of capital, flow of commodities, flow of ideas was going on. The speed of flow was very slow. In the ancient time, the speed of the flow was very slow. But now, in the present time, the speed of flow is increasing day by day because we have great technology. By the communication and technology, the speed of the flow increasing day by day. So we can say in the past time flow was going on, but in the present time the speed of the flow is increasing by the technology and the communication. We have mobile phones, we have internet, we have Facebook. These technologies we can exchange idea to another countries. So we can say why these internet, Facebook, mobile phones, etc. Our speed of the flow is increasing day by day. So we can say globalization is new concept. This is old concept. So why the transport? We can send people, capital, commodities to another countries. So we can say the flow of people, commodities and capital increasing day by day. Now we will talking about consequences of globalization. First of all, we will talking about political consequences. There are two types of people. One who has globalization, political consequences are negative. Another asked consequences are positive. Negative people says why the globalization now government does not work for welfare of the people. Now government working only law and order. Why the liberalization now government become market oriented. Government does not work for welfare of people. Positive thought. Positive person thought why the globalization, the power of globalization has increased. By the globalization, government can collect data easily. They can collect information of citizen easily. With this information, government can better work. He can make better schemes for the people of the India. So we can say there are positive and negative consequences of globalization effect in the political consequences. So now we will talking about cultural consequences. Globalization affect on our life in our home, in what we eat, what we think, what we wear. Some people thinks that by the globalization we change our lifestyle, our food, our cloth, our thinking, our livelihood. We change everything by the globalization. By the globalization, we adopt Western culture. In the past time, we eat homemade things. We wear homemade clothes. But now we wear Western culture. We adopt Western culture. We eat McDonald. We do not eat food, Indian food. We do not eat more home food. We eat Western culture. We eat Western food. We don't wear kurta and pajama. We wear Western clothes like jean, like etc. So we can say globalization affect on our lifestyle. We have changed our totally lifestyle today. On the other hand, positive person thinks that by the globalization we have new more choice. Now we can eat McDonald as well as homemade things. Now we have more option. By the globalization our choice has been increased. Understand? Now we will talking about economic consequences. Globalization also affect our economic situation. By the globalization, rich makes rich and poor makes poor. So now developing country makes poor and developed country makes rich. Why the globalization? Because developed country exchange of idea, exchange of capital, exchange of goods easily from the poor country, but they do not jobs to poor countries people. They restrict people flow by the visa policy. They restrict to people of poor country by the globalization. The rich country invest in poor country and earn money from this country, but they restrict people for of poor country. So we can say now the poor people of country demand we should stop investment of rich country, so government should be work for welfare of people. On the other hand, followers of globalization are saying that globalization is good. By the liberalization and the globalization we can trade with the different countries. By the globalization give a chance to countries to do better. It give us challenge. We should respond intelligently. It give us chance to do something. By the globalization, country do better. Now we will talking about India and globalization. By the globalization in India, what happened in the British time? In the past time, British India rule on India. Then India was colony of British. After some time, they export raw material from India to Britain, and final goods export in India, dump in India. So after independence, India decide we should stop import from other countries. So we restrict import from other country. Why the stop? Why the strict? Why the protectionism? Some sector of India became weak. The economic growth of India became slow. The primary sector, education and health, did not attain attention they deserve. So in 1909, India was started. In 1991, there was a mistake. Not 99. There was 1991. India was started LPG reforms. Now India allow investment other countries. Now we will talking about resistant to globalization. By the globalization, poor makes poor and rich makes rich. So left wing person fear because it abolish our culture, so they demand it should be restricted. because by the globalization, poor makes poor and rich makes rich. Anti-globalization movement not against globalization. They against only special program that form of imperialism. WTO ministerial meeting was conducted in 1999. In this meeting, they oppose imperialism. WSF also World Social Forum. WSF मतलब means World Social Forum. Against a new liberalism fast meeting was conducted in 2001 in Brazil. Last meeting was conducted in 2018 in Brazil. Now we will talking about India resistance to globalization. In India also oppose globalization. Our political parties and why World Social Forum oppose globalization. When USA and Western country patenting on India was opposed. The left-wing parties opposed Frisian TV, serial, Western dress and Western food also. They said the globalization we lost our country, our culture. So we can say globalization is harmful with our country.